Okay, day 4. Yeah. So today you either can take a fine line marker and you can trace over all your lines to kind of make this look like a blueprint, or you can color it. So the first thing, if you're using a black marker to trace over the lines, you want to use a straight edge. You don't want to do this freehand. And you're going to just take your marker, line it up. Be careful as you move your ruler around that you don't pick up marker. Kind of you want to let it dry. So I would do a little section and then kind of move over to a different spot so you're not messing up your marker. So if you're gonna, a Sharpie's like a regular fat Sharpie, no, I don't mean fat Sharpie, like a regular Sharpie is not gonna work as well for this because it is kind of a thick, you're not gonna get this fine line. So either a black flare would work well, or you could use a colored pencil or an ink pen to trace over, like a black pen might work too. So I'm not gonna make you watch me do this whole thing. But you're going to take the time and you're going to go over all of your lines, and it's going to make it nice and bold and make everything stand out nice. Be mindful and pay attention to what you're doing because you don't want to go over a line too far. And when I talk and work at the same time, I am not as mindful. So it's better for me to just be quiet and not try to talk while I'm doing this. So like right here, I wouldn't want to go over that little thing right there. I want to stop because you don't want, if you make a mistake, really, there's no way coming back from it because you can't erase this. You'd have to try to white it out with paint. So you do the whole thing. I'm not going to do that whole thing right now. Or if you want, you could take colored pencils and you could color it. That would work too. So let's say I'm going to do like some brick here. So first I'm going to do, and you don't even have to shade it realistically. You could do like a future city. And here again, I'm talking to you guys about keeping your markers, your pencils sharp, and I am not using a really sharp pencil here. So I'm going to shade it pretty light the first time, but I want to try to shade it even. I don't want you to see those little lines. I'm kind of going to go in one direction. I'm not applying a lot of pressure as I shade. If you guys can see the top of my head there. So like you can't really see my brick anymore, I'm noticing. So what I would do is go over that again with my marker. But if I want to shade this, if I can take another coat of brown over the top of this, because this is kind of a brownish, the brick is kind of a brownish red. So I'm going to go over it, try to smooth out my red again. And then if I wanted to, I could use my my trusty little ruler and go over these lines again with my colored pencil now to get them to stand out. If you lose them, you can go back over them either with a marker over the top of this or with another colored pencil. So just be aware that you might have to do that. So again, I'm making sure I'm still eyeballing that vanishing point and making sure that I am on it. And then I can go back now and draw my lines this way. So to finish this, you can either use colored pencils and you can color it, or you can just keep it as a blueprint and just in marker. Finish it off with marker and be done. Or you can do whatever your teacher says is fine to do. If you have a ton of detail, you could also just leave it in pencil. Like you could just take some colored pencil and you could start shading, I mean not colored pencil, some pencil and you could start shading it and just leave it shaded. Now remember I said when I was done I was gonna erase that horizon line because I made my road kind of go off behind those buildings. You would see a little bit of that. You would see that part of the horizon line right there. Now you might have something where you have like maybe you're on Lake Michigan and you have the lake over here, or you have a park on one side. That would be fine too. Just need to have something on each of your buildings. But see how nice it looks when you start coloring it, when you start adding some color to it. If you are going to color it though, color carefully. I would rather you leave it just with pencil and a lot of detail than to color it and mess things up because you're not being neat with the coloring. So it's fine to just leave it in pencil if you want to. Or it's fine to just outline it with marker. And then when you're done completely with this, again, day 4, then take a picture of it and turn it into Artsonia. I hope you enjoyed 1 Point Perspective. Have a good day.